Everyone, let's welcome Eddie Cooper to Dragon Talk.
Yay, Eddie Cooper! You're my favorite actor. We've got some real fans in the audience today.
Oh my God! How?
We're excited to talk to you. We love theater majors, and not just because they enunciate and project, but
we do that.
That's our people.
That's right. That's right. You're calling from New York, right?
Yeah, New York City. Right in the middle of Manhattan.
Oh. Really? Ooh, that's fancy.
Oh, fancy.
I was in Brooklyn. I had to take the L train to get into the fancy parts.
Well, you know.
I had to take a Greyhound bus for 3.5 hours to get there. I'm from upstate New York, the other New York.
Upstate New York is beautiful. I went to college in Ithaca, New York.
What?
I have a strong love for upstate New York.
Ithaca College or Cornell?
Ithaca College.
Me too. I'm a bomber. I'm a theater alumni from Ithaca College.
You need to stop right now.
How is this possible?
This happens all the time. There's so many Ithaca connections. I love it. And Greg used to work at the Hangar Theater.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I've done shows at the Hangar Theater.
It's such a great place.
Oh, no way. Oh my God, we have so much to talk about. I'm sure it'll be interesting to everyone.
Oh yes.
Ithaca is gorgeous.
Well, we just sit here and talk about our professors from college.
Oh my God. All right. I don't even want to ask when you were there because I'm sure that I was there a long time before you were.
I don't know about all that. I'll tell you, I graduated in 2004.
Okay, yeah, I was there before that.
Wait, you cut out for a second. Can we get a confirmation on that?
I was there before. That's all
before. Oh, you're not going to say exactly when?
No, but it was before. Okay, it was
the
very before.
I was
slightly before.
It was in college when I was at the Hangar Theater, so that was 97, the summer of 97. I was there and stayed on the Ithaca College campus, and would commute through the town to get to the Hangar Theater and the build sets for their summer stock.
Just hills and windy roads.
Yes, we used to call we had what we would call Ithaca size because there was so much walking uphill. We were like, oh, I got my Ithaca thighs. It was a very distinct body type.
Everyone's glutes in Ithaca are
You could bounce a quarter off them.
Yes. Oh my God.
Everyone except for me.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got to that level, but it's so beautiful. And it is a wonderful theater program there. Were you an acting major or?
I was an acting major.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes.
I studied.
I was a theater. Yeah. I was a BA. And so you BFAs looked down upon us BAs.
Listen, no. At least I didn't, because I knew it was the BAs that would be hiring me eventually.
I thought I was getting the more well-rounded theater degree. But
yeah, I would agree with you, actually.
I don't know. But no, they're super talented. I'm not that talented. I can memorize things really well, and
lots of actors can't do that. So.
Yeah, that's but I just I don't want to do math, so I'm theater sounds like the right place for me. But
good reason.
I liked the writing part, the playwriting, and I kind of gravitated more towards the creative writing side anyway. But the teachers are phenomenal. The theater is there's people who have zero ties to Ithaca. They would just come to the theater at Ithaca College. I always thought that was so impressive that
it was
there were
a great
actual people.
Program, actually. I had a really good time at Ithaca.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. And
did you play Dungeons and Dragons while you were in college?
So I was playing Dungeons and Dragons at the time, but not in college. I would always come home and play with my friends at home.
Oh, okay. So you started before that. You started So when was your first experience, and tell us about that?
I played Dungeons and Dragons throughout my childhood, but it was very rules light Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. And then like I would say probably actually around the time I went to college, we started going, oh no, wait, this is how this book says we should do it. So let's give it a go and try this out. And around that time is when we really started like, you know, raw rules is written D&D.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So before that, it was just like, we'll roll some dice and bash some monsters. But then you were like, all right, let's do it for reals. So that would have been in the like 3.5 era then, right?
Yeah. 3.5 is, I learned to play D&D really with 3.5.
Me too.
Yeah.
That was
I like 3.5.
Yeah, it's got a lot of great design elements, and it certainly allowed you to play whatever character you wanted to play, especially by the end of the life cycle, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah. With prestige classes and all that. I liked all that stuff. I like how it's kind of like baked into 5e now, though. Right.
Yeah. You could argue that the subclasses are kind of prestige classes.
When I first started 5e, that's kind of how I looked at it.
Nice.
Which is cool. I like that.
So what was it about your gaming group that you would go visit, on breaks or whatever in college? Like, what was it about those people that coalesced into something that you would meet up with, even on breaks like that?
Well, yeah. So these are friends that I grew up with. They're lifelong friends that I still play D&D with now and other tabletop games. And yeah, I mean, we'll be playing D&D together when we're like 60. I shouldn't do this for 60. 60 is not that old. 60 is not like Kane hunched over.
Oh, I can barely pick up these dice. Oh,
that was very ageist. I shouldn't do that.
We need some of those, we'll be playing D&D. Dice.
Yeah. Don't at me.
That's awesome. What was your first character that you latched onto and it was like, this is my D&D character? It might not have been the first one you played with, but what was the one where you're like, you played through the most or you had the best stories for?
So that would have to be Morgana Vexus, Warlock, Human Warlock. She's my 3.5 character she's still with us.
Oh.
She's kind of evil.
Nice. It happens.
And she runs a village full of goblins at this point, which is kind of cool. She's like the Goblin Queen. I kind of modeled her after Jareth from Labyrinth a little bit.
That's cute. I like that.
Do you still have you like updated her to 5th edition and do you still play her or do we just know she's
I still play her, but we play 3.5 in that group.
Oh, great, cool. So she really is still going.
Well, my DM in that group is very. I will never. He's got all the books. He's not ever going to switch to another version of D&D. I keep on trying to get him to play with 5e with me, and he's like, "Go and do it."
He's like, "I do it. I've invested hard.
One day, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him one day.
Trick him. Just trick him.
There's one shots out there. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, right. That would be a good thing. And I'm playing a Dwarven Cleric right now, in my 5e game, which I play actually way more frequently than my other game that we've been playing for years.
A Warlock and a Cleric.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Sides of the coin.
Yeah. That's good. That's like it lets you, explore all angles there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think next character I make is going to just be like a barbarian or something.
Yeah. It's good to go out of the comfort zone once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But every time I try, I'm like, I don't really like this.
What kind of character do you usually play?
I like magic users. But when I do break free, I will play like a ranger because it's really easy. You don't have to.
Fair enough.
You don't have to prep anything or plan anything. You just kind of know what you're going to do, and then you can just spend your time being like strategic. Whereas the wizard, you have to prepare things and
every ranger I've ever played has met a horrible end.
Oh no!
Oh, why?
I am cursed with rangers. I don't know why. because I feel like I probably play like I'm Aragorn too much, and I'm like, let me take care of everything, and then I'm just dead.
Oh, every ranger you've played.
Every single ranger.
Okay, I thought you meant like the ones that you play with.
Oh, no. Me personally, if I ever make a ranger, that ranger will be dying.
Yeah, I'm just a little fast and loose with the rangers. I played a cleric once. And I was once. Nobody wants me to be the cleric. I was a disaster because people were like, "Oh, like help me, cleric," and I'm like, I don't know if I should. I don't have that much healing, and what if somebody gets more hurt than you? I was too stingy with the bandages, and I think I just basically let people die around me while I was basically holding like a full first aid kit. I'm like,
but like the pressure is on when you're a cleric.
It's too much.
Though.
Yes,
the pressure is kind of on you.
Yeah, and it's also like, stop asking me for help. I just want to do stuff on my own.
Feels too much like being a parent.
I was just gonna say it's kind of like how I feel in quarantine with like kids. Like, help me do this math. Make me a Lunchable. Come on, no.
God, they're so demanding.
They're just always like needing things.
So how have you dealt with that as being the dwarf cleric? Have you been able to live up to the healer status?
Yeah, I try. He's a death domain cleric.
Oh. So there's that.
The warlock makes more sense now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm sensing a trend. I was thinking like, he'd be this, Well,
you saw my Kalemvor background.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sometimes people gotta die.
I mean, it happens. Part of life. Circle of life. Teachable moment.
Yeah.
So you were playing D&D not on the actual campus, but you were playing like while you were, studying acting and theater.
On vacations and stuff, I'd come home and we'd play.
Did you incorporate any like tenets of D&D into like your theater, into your theater work? Like, did Morgana ever like appear in like as like an improv character anywhere? Or
so funny because yes,
nobody knew it, but
I love the story already.
I did an all-male version of a show called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum.
Yeah.
And it's a great musical for those of you who don't know it. It's very funny and it's hilarious and the music is blah, blah, blah.
Nathan Lane was in the revival, right? Like wasn't
Nathan Lane was in the revival on Broadway. I think Zero Mostel played that part
originally, right? Yeah.
I think. But I played Domina, who is like just the mean wife figure who's like, ugh. And there was definitely a little bit of Morgana Vexus in there. Like if she could if Domino could cast spells on people, their Eldritch bolts would have been flying.
Nice.
Or Eldritch blasts would have been flying.
I would have loved to have seen that on the stage.
Yeah. Now I want to see a D&D version of that show.
I want to see a D&D version of like every show.
Right?
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? D&D version.
Ooh, that actually would be great. Right? Because you'd have like new players coming to the table and the George, the dungeon, like the overbearing dungeon master. Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, yeah, this could work. That could actually work.
I'm into it.
I love it. I was been pitching a D&D Jesus Christ Superstar rock musical, a rock opera type of thing for a long time. But
here for it.
Great. Nice.
See?
We're getting allies.
We have Eddie Cooper attached. Let's make this happen. Make it happen. I guess conversely then, have you ever played a character that you thought, oh, this might be a good D&D character? And incorporated some of that into character making?
Well, I played Audrey 2 in Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh.
And as a DM, there have been villains who were loosely based on Audrey 2.
Oh.
At least from the vocal, right? Like you can have a great. It's such a powerful evil voice to do that. I can't do it. I'm no voice actor, but you can.
I try.
Okay.
Were you the puppeteer as well, or just the voice?
No, so I did. It was kind of a concert version of it. It was at a thing called Encores in New York, which happens at City Center, which is this big, beautiful, gorgeous theater in New York. And
Union Square area, right?
No, Uptown.
Okay, I'm misremembering.
Yeah, it's kind of close to. It's like on 55th Street or something like that. I forget the exact address.
Yeah,
but yeah, I did it there, and it's a kind of pared back version. But Jake Gyllenhaal was actually Seymour.
No way.
And yeah, and it was wild. Ellen Greene, who was the original Audrey, was Audrey in this one as well.
Oh my God.
That's like.
It was wild. Yeah, it was kind of a dream come true. I used to watch that movie every day when I was a little kid. So like every day. So to like all of a sudden I'm on stage with Ellen Greene.
Oh,
and, like,
that's
eating
amazing.
her as the plant. Like, that's weird. Like I'm killing Ellen Greene right now. I'm the plant. Man.
I've made it.
You know you've made it. Did I ever?
Not that I would ever want to do that. She's a sweetheart, and I love her so much.
Not in real life.
Not in real life.
No, we would never. Did I ever read about you in the Ithaca College Quarterly? Because that seems like the kind of thing that you would put in there.
I don't know. I've never read the Ithaca College Quarterly.
Impressive. Yeah.
They probably reserve that for like the Aaron Tavates and everything who have graduated.
No way, man. I'm going to submit it on your behalf because that's really cool. I'm going to say Eddie Cooper was on Dragon Talk. Class of 2004.
Okay. But all of the people who I currently play D&D with, when I told them that I was going to be on Dragon Talk, lost their damn minds. They were very excited about that. So I'm it's really funny. I'm playing with like such a great group right now. My DM puts in so much work and is so good. I feel so spoiled and lucky to have that, especially at this time when we're all
Yeah, I know. No
at
kidding.
home and
so you guys have managed to keep the game going, like just virtually.
We're up on that Roll20 every week.
Nice,
doing it.
Yep. All right. Well, let's talk about your group because they sound awesome. So,
they're great.
What's your campaign all about?
It is. I think he kind of ported it from maybe Pathfinder and put it into and read it all. I think it's Rise of the Rune Lords.
Oh yeah, that's Adventure Path. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're playing right now, and he put it into 5e, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to storm a big keep that is overrun with ogres. So it's like a kind of do or die moment right now for the for the Shields of Sandpoint.
That's where you guys left off?
Yeah. Next week we will be taking that on.
Shields of Sandpoint. That's a good group name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try this ogre clearing. I'm
sure it'll be great.
I love that. I love that. That's what D&D is doing for folks right now, is giving them something to be nervous about, but also be excited and look forward to on these weekly things.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that to look forward to every week. And also, I don't know how he does it, but somehow every week seems to end on the perfect cliffhanger.
I know.
So,
I don't know how dungeon masters do that.
He's really good at it.
Yeah.
He's real good. I'm so lucky. I love my group right now. They're the best.
And this is the game that you're the cleric?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is Turok Greystone.
Oh.
Turok.
All right. Very nice. And then have you ever tried your hand at being a dungeon master?
Yeah. I DM. I love playing. I think that's really where my heart is. But I do like to DM. It's fun. I'm not super good at preparation.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at doing it on the fly, and I think I'm okay at that. But my current DM is like so good, and just like something happens. Oh, there's a map for that. Oh, there's a look. Oh, we do something that he doesn't expect, and he's just ready to roll with it. And I don't know. I love playing.
Yeah. I'm with you though. I'm the low prep DM who just likes to roll with it. I'll make a map or do some thinking about, if they do this, I'll do that, and if they do this, I do that. But that's about it, and I love it because it almost makes it like an improv session for me as a DM.
It's very that. Yeah. I would love to play with just like hardcore improv people.
Yeah, because
that'd be interesting.
It gets silly sometimes because you end up just going for the laugh. But it can be really, really fun just to pull it all out of your butt as you're saying it.
Yeah. Well, all the people I'm playing with right now are theater people, so that's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you have voices for your characters?
Like, a little bit ish. when we're feeling saucy.
That's the hardest part for me is keeping that consistent. When I do a voice for an NPC or something like that, and then the next week or 3 months from there, I'm like, what did this person sound like again? I don't know.
Oh my God, yeah, that's one thing I do love about DMing though, is having to just make up a million characters in a night, because that's fun to me.
Yeah, it's pure improv there for sure.
Yeah.
So you're doing a horror podcast, right? What's that all about?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. I'm doing this really cool podcast right now. It's called The Rooms, and it's a serialized horror anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And each season a person wakes up in the rooms and they're not sure how or why they're there. And in each episode, they're kind of thrust into an anthology tale where they experience terrible things.
Is it?
But it's
fiction.
It's really cool.
Is it like written out like a script, or is it improvised?
No, it's written out like a script. It's
okay.
It's a scripted. It's kind of like a radio play every week.
Yeah.
But it has sci-fi aspects to it, horror aspects to it. It's really cool. There are great voice actors working on it. Actually, one of the guy who asked me to do it, who's also a voice actor on the piece, we met doing A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum together.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What a cool connection.
So are you a writer, or are you one of the voice actors?
No, I'm just a voice actor on the show.
Are you, without spoiling too much, are you one of the people that terrible things happen to when they wake up in the room?
I am like kind of, this season I'm kind of like the person that terrible things are happening to.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's rough. It's real rough because they put me through the ringer.
Got to scream a lot. How's your vocal prep for screaming and yelling going?
Well, I live in an apartment building, so.
Oh God.
And we're, obviously we're all recording from home right now. I don't have to scream that much.
Oh, good.
But when I do, it's very funny because we're talking blood curdling, someone's murdering me screams.
Right.
Oh my God.
My next I have to be like, I'm alive.
Yeah, I feel like you have to like send a note to your neighbor and like, I'm gonna be.
Don't call the cops. It's okay.
Probably happens
I'm just
all the time.
acting.
In New York.
Yeah.
And then it's a great way to promote your podcast. I mean, just you know.
Yeah, do some door to door.
If you want to hear the full story, go here.
If you want to know why I'm screaming
down.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is your first season.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was just for that. You said this is your first season doing it.
Yeah, this is the third season of the show, but this is my first season being a part of it.
Well, I hope they don't kill you off so you can come back again.
Well, you'll just have to listen to find out.
All right.
We also have some really cool guests. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to say who at the moment.
Is it Jake Gyllenhaal?
But no, it's not. I can't say it is not Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah,
but
no,
the guy he met. Oh no, that was different.
Well, that's awesome.
Guess?
Just keep going down the list until he's like, if your eyes move to the left, then we'll know that you're lying. But what I was going to ask about was like horror is such a hard part for me to bring to life in my games as a dungeon master because it's just not my genre, right? It's not like my wheelhouse. I don't read a lot of horror. I don't, it's not really what I would do. But there are certainly good stories that you can tell that are fantasy, epic, heroic stories that use elements of horror. So I was wondering if there's anything you learned from participating in this project that you might think, I might want to run something like this. Because the way you described it as being like waking up in rooms, I'm like, that sounds like a D&D adventure right there.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely aspects of this that could be kind of picked for a D&D campaign for sure. Horror is an interesting thing. It's especially in D&D. I feel like sometimes in D&D when things can feel a little heavy, and I like to take the game seriously and everything, but I feel like it's nice when there's a little bit of levity, I guess. I think people get worried about feeling a little bogged down in the heaviness of horror.
Yeah,
but
so you gotta.
I think horror can live in both places, kind of.
Well, it's something that we've talked to Chris Perkins, who wrote Curse of Strahd, which was the gothic horror themed adventure, right? And he makes that point often, right? You can't just have it be scary all the time because after a while you're just like, oh, that's boring. It's just a guy with weird crinkly hands yelling scary, the fourth time you say that,
it's exhausting.
You got to have ups and downs, and levity can provide a lot of that down, and then all of a sudden you turn that levity into something creepy. It makes it even more powerful.
But it also makes it harder to do well, I guess.
Yeah, so much of the horror for me is the anticipation of the horror. Like, it doesn't even ever have to happen. You just know, like, it might happen, and that is like where like the true chills come in for me. So it's like, building up that suspension, and then it may never pan out. But doesn't, like, Paranormal Activity, remember those movies?
Yes.
Those were actually really scary to me, just like seeing that baby monitor and like,
first one?
I don't ever want to see something walk across this baby monitor. And sometimes you never did. But
I was clutching my pearls throughout. Just fully.
Yeah.
And they don't really show much. It's like Blair Witch, kind of.
Oh my God, that too. That was also scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I remember going to see that in the movie theater, and I sat next to a stranger, and we held each other's hands.
Oh, that's not really
We were so scared.
I was scared of the night coming in that movie. I remember just being like, oh shit, the sun's going down.
I know.
Like,
that was good.
It was really good.
A really good movie.
Yeah.
It's great. And you don't even ever see that witch. Not a once.
No. But like, I still
like
can't
$2
see
making that movie, and it was so good.
I know. But like, if I still see like a little pile of sticks somewhere, I'm like, the Blair Witch is here.
Oh,
What's going on? Yeah, I'm ruined forever.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's that weird thing of someone standing in the corner and like slightly bent over.
That was awful.
Creeps me out to this day.
Isn't that how it ended?
Turning around and leaving that room immediately.
Yes.
I'm not searching for traps.
Weird pose.
I'm getting the fuck out.
That's a good thing to add into a D&D. You walk into a room. There's 4 people in each corner, standing in the corner, facing the
that's so
corner,
great.
their heads down. What do you do?
I mean, these are good story hooks. So like, it's not like, there's just people standing in the corner. Maybe they're checking for leaks. Maybe they're dead. You don't know. Like, what do you do here? Like, it's just something dead. So, just innocuous. But
close the door.
Tiptoe.
Time to leave. So that
burn the cabin to the ground.
Yeah, right. Just nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah.
So that podcast that you're working on is called Gray Rooms, right?
Yes, the Gray Rooms.
And that's people can check it out right now. It's on the RSS feed somewhere.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, and that sounds like one you definitely want to start at the beginning. You're not going to just...
But it's an anthology, right? So you don't necessarily have to start... You start at the beginning of your season.
It's an anthology, yeah. You might not have to start really at the beginning, but it's great.
No.
Nice.
If you wanted to.
You're also on the Encounter Party podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a season of Encounter Party. I'm not with them anymore. But yeah, I did a season of that. You should definitely check out Encounter Party. It's a great live play podcast.
Yeah. So how did that come about?
Ithaca.
Oh, that's right. They're Ithaca too. Were you guys there together? Is that how, or how did you meet?
So
there?
I was the eldest of the group, and I graduated before the other guys went to Ithaca. But because of Ithaca, we knew of each other's names and and he asked me to be a part of it, and I was excited to play some D&D, and yeah.
Oh my God,
so we did a season of that. Well, I also played a cleric in that, actually.
That could be.
Must mean something.
Yes. You're a kind, compassionate person.
My clerics are always jerks.
The opposite of what you were just saying there, Shelley.
You just wave those healing potions in their face. Like, oh.
Well, I like to play clerics as religious zealots.
Yeah.
Just full.
That's fun.
Full-fledged, crazy religious zealot.
I do that too, because the idea of being a cleric in my real life feels so like anathema to everything about me. And
I'm an atheist.
Yeah, me too. And so that's why when I do want to jump into some role that does have something that they feel so strongly about, like it's a great way to exercise those thoughts and feelings around other clerics in the real world, and just be like, no, I'm just going to be what everybody hates about zealots. Exactly.
Totally. I don't know why. It just always ends up being like that when I play a cleric.
Yeah. Did you have
I kind of want to play a cleric again.
Right? And then you can be the like Bible thumping, like, brimstone preacher type of thing. It can work. It can really work.
Yeah. There's a potion and a pamphlet.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, potion.
That sounds fun.
I'm basically like knocking on doors. Please, can I tell you about the glory of Kalimvor? Have you heard the news? Kalimvor is here for you.
You're all going to be left behind if you don't follow Kalimvor.
Yeah.
The rapture is coming.
Oh,
But in this case, it's a raptor. It's actually a dinosaur that's going to be attacked.
and it's really coming.
And it's,
like for real, guys.
It's got the face of Kirk Cameron on it. So.
Oh my God! Wow.
I would watch that. That is good.
Yeah.
They can be really fun, but also, you have to be okay with playing an evil character.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So
I think I'm generally in life. I'm a caring, nice, not so evil person. So sometimes when I play D&D, and when I say sometimes, maybe most of the time,
finding out a lot.
My character is like not the sweetest person on planet Earth.
Yeah, I played a character. We were starting an actual evil campaign, I think. Which didn't really go very far, but one of my favorite
Things can kind of go off the rail in an evil campaign.
It always does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the character I made was a bard, and I made him basically like an evil Jim Broadbent from Moulin Rouge. And I had so much fun playing a really douchey theater producer as a D&D character. It was so fun.
It works.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You would think I would like people think I would play bards all the time because I sing and stuff, but I sing and stuff. So
it's not fantasy for you.
Yeah.
It's your real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of performers who do, some people really like that aspect of the D&D play, and so they bring that to life. But I totally respect going the opposite way too. I mean, like, you know what? That's in my day job, and I'm gonna just bash things with a sword in my other endeavors.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to bash something with a sword,
right?
Yeah,
I believe
it. Like a lot of times.
I need that T-shirt.
I got a great T-shirt over the break that is D&D related, but also perhaps a little bit politically related. But it is a dragon horde with I think it's a adventurer with a big pole, and it said redistribute wealth. And I got on board with that.
Nice.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. So you're obviously a very creative person, and but you haven't been able to do your craft in almost a year now.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be a buzzkill and bring up bad feelings, but really, what are you doing? D&D helps with a creative outlet. The Grey Rooms podcast, I'm sure, but are you doing other things to keep your creative energy up?
Well, luckily I've had a few things here and there, like D&D, like this podcast, that I've been able to, keep those creative juices flowing. But it has been rough. I was in the middle of rehearsal for a show here in New York when we went into quarantine, and I was very excited to be doing this show. It's such a great show, and I was working with such incredible people. And we're still planning on doing it, but it's just the wait and the not knowing when it will be possible to do it again. And it's not. I mean, my whole industry, everyone I know is struggling right now. These are hard times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the theater world in particular in New York. Not even. I mean, because Broadway probably will bounce back a little bit faster. Probably. I'm saying that with a huge caveat. I have no idea. But for me, I'm thinking about the off-Broadway and the smaller theater groups that, kind of are the lifeblood of that community in the city. They're not fundraising right now. They're not able to kind of get even the resources going. So even if magically audiences are able to go into theaters without risk of spreading any disease, it's going to take many months before it gets up to, the preparation, everything that was happening, right?
Yeah, theater right now is in a very tough place. Yeah, there's theater companies haven't been able to make any money for a year, and there's a lot of overhead with these places. There's the space, there's their staff, there's a lot of stuff going on, and lots of theaters have had to lay off their staff, and it's scary. The theater that I was working with and still am waiting to do this show with, they're called Classic Stage Company, and they're in the city. They do new and fun takes on classical theater, and they've been around for a while, and they're great. But they launched a campaign called Coming Back Stronger, and you should go to their website and check it out.
That's cool.
And contribute if you can, because they're an incredible theater in New York City that deserves to be here after all of this.
Absolutely. And that's a theater coming. I worked there as a carpenter back in the day in 2000, 2001. Fondly remember, getting a coffee roll and a small coffee on the way after the First Avenue L train stop, and working all day, putting the sets on together there. And it's those people that were doing that hustle at theaters all over, Manhattan and the boroughs. Those people are not earning any money either. It's all the smaller, just contractor type level of theater professionals that are hurting really, really hard right now, in addition to the performers and all this stuff. So I really love that there was a special on Hulu, or was it NBC that did I'm forgetting the name of it, but Tina Fey hosted it, and it was all these theater professionals able to
that's right, yeah,
to actually do their craft out on the streets without masks, so that it was like at least a little bit more safe. And I really appreciated that. I'm like, oh gosh, we should do more of this. And it sounds like this Classic Stage Company program is along those lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think every theater right now is trying their best to like just kind of hold on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what, the Coming Back Stronger campaign is about, holding on and looking forward to the future of theater in New York and really the whole country and the world. Like, theaters kind of can't be done right now if numbers are past a certain level, which they are throughout most of the world right now.
Have you seen anybody do like Zoom performances? I've seen that be a thing. At least and it's not really, you can't really sell tickets or make a lot of money from it. But at least it's a way to do readings and things like that to get kind of preparatory work. Have you participated in anything like that?
Yeah, I've done some Zoom readings and concerts. I actually just recorded a song for a Zoom concert yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And that's great that's happening. People need to create. Creative people, artists that is something that we need to have. So, I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's just, what is the future of it is the question, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've participated in that, and it's great that those things are happening. It's not the same.
It's not.
Singing a song to your computer screen is very different from singing it to at least one other person, but a room full of people, it's just not, it's not as fulfilling.
No, it's not. But I wonder if there's opportunities for experimentation in that genre too, and I'm starting to see some of it happen.
They just did a Ratatouille Zoom musical, or maybe it wasn't Zoom, it was TikTok, the Ratatouille TikTok musical.
Oh, interesting.
That's neat.
And lots of cool people were involved in that, and it's a great example of people persevering and just getting together and just doing something, and it's turned out to be this great thing.
Yeah, like your podcast, Grey Rooms, kind of, make the radio theater element, the way you were describing it made me think like, and you said that's like radio theater, but I could see that being huge right now, just because you still get to, participate as a listener in that theatrical experience. And like, it's kind of like D&D, where a lot of it takes place in your mind, but you can hear it, you can imagine it, you can feel it. You're like, I feel like we should be seeing more of that. I want more.
Yeah, I just get hungry for storytelling. I just love storytelling. So yeah, that is a great way to do it.
The problem is monetizing it, sadly. Not like everything needs to be monetized, but you can do all that you want for an audience of 4 or 5 people watching on a Zoom, but that's not gonna put food on the table or support families of these actors and theater people that have been doing this for years.
It sure ain't.
No.
But as soon as we can sell tickets to Zoom meetings, well,
there's a way.
There's a way.
There's a way. I mean, like, there are theatrical events happening.
Yeah.
And really cool ones. I don't know if I can even say the name of what I'm thinking of on here because it's a little body, but
do it.
Just try.
And now I need it now.
We gotta know.
There was this great show that was completely done online. It's called Circle Jerk.
Okay.
It is not pornography. But it was wonderful, and it was completely done online. These actors wrote it and put it together and did it. It was pretty big. It was featured in lots of places, but things like that are happening, and it's kind of a new art form is coming from all of this.
Yeah. And so, just a little bit, bring this back to D&D, it does feel like the strides that Dungeons & Dragons has been experiencing over the last 5 years of the rise of streaming games and having people playing D&D as a form of entertainment. I feel like now we can combine that with like some more theater professionals. And I wonder if you're right. Like, I wonder if there's some new art form that can emerge in a cocoon of quarantine from this,
There are definitely really cool applications for D&D and, theater on the web, for sure. I think cool stuff could come out of this. Silver linings, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's a challenge to everyone out there listening and or watching. Figure out ways to make this happen, and I'm pretty sure you've got a performer here who might be interested in doing it.
Ding, ding, ding.
I was talking about Shelley, but also
D&D.
Eddie.
He's busy with the D&D musical. I'm available though.
Yeah.
So after this, participating in Counterparty, do you have any desires or plans or thoughts about maybe doing some more streaming or more D&D?
I totally would. The Encounter Party was a lot of fun to do. I just love playing D&D. So yeah, I would love to do something like that again.
Off camera, whatever.
Totally.
Okay. Cool.
Well, let's see it. Let's see it. We'll make it happen for sure. I feel like we touched on all the fun. Oh my God, what did I just say?
That's totally me. I turn people into. I'm very proud of myself. Except for saying circle jerk, I haven't cursed this entire time, but I really feel like I just put that energy. I was like shooting it out. Let me get an F-bomb out of one of them. I want one F-bomb, and I knew I would get it.
He cursed you. It's the warlock. It's Morgana.
I cursed you. Yeah. Morgana Vexus said, blah.
Oh my goodness.
Because your response to it, you actually touched your mouth you felt it come out. You're like, oh, what is that?
It had weight to it.
Whoops. But this has been fun, and I'm so glad that we get to
own it. Out there.
I'm on it. We're gonna bleep the shit out of that. All right. Thank you so much for being on here and cursing me with a foul mouth.
Cursing with cursing.
Yeah, I loved it. It's always great to talk to someone with an Ithaca connection, as well as in the theater.
Oh yes. Absolutely. I had so much fun. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, you're the best. That was great.
If people want to get in touch or just find out what you're doing and follow along with some fun stuff in your career, what's the best way for them to do that, Eddie?
I am on Twitter at Mr. Eddie Cooper. That's it. That's probably the best way. Yeah.
Nice. My backstage is
Twitter and Instagram. Boom. Yeah. Mr. Eddie Cooper.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. And here's hoping 2021 gets a little bit better incrementally along the way. It can only get better for sure. And so, and not only just for the world, but for the theater and New York City specifically, we're all rooting for you.
Let's get you back on stage.
That's right.
Yes.
Do this.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me.